Hey, what's up, Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and today it is Friday, April 29th, 2022, and I'm back, baby. I'm back. And I was literally just trying to hook up another camera real quick, and so I'm just going to continue doing that. How is everyone doing? Is everyone doing fine and dandy? Like a hard candy Christmas? Wait, that's a Dolly Parton song, so nobody probably knows that one. Hey, wait. I need an adapter. Well, man, you try to do nice things, like have a 3-camera shoot today because you want to, and everything's still packed up. Okay, fine. Whew. Let me just tuck this away then, since that cable's just gonna be a pain in my rear right now. Yeah, I had a different camera on here, and everything about it is really, that's gonna bother me too. Everything about it is wrong, so I had to switch it. Okie dokie. So, how is everyone? I know it's been a long time, and I do apologize. I didn't mean for it to go on so long. I just had a lot of work, and I love work, and work is awesome. Work makes everything better, and so I did the work. I also took a nice trip out to Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. Wasn't quite as nice as I had wanted it. We battled a lot, and I did not get near the shots that I intended. We went out to Utah to a secret place, and was going to get some epic time lapses. And we got there, and there was like a massive windstorm, which out there turned into a massive sandstorm. So every time I would go to pull my cameras out, the sand, and this is like gritty sand, would come flying in and get in the camera gear, and like you rotate the focus and you hear, and you're like, oh, no. I did not want to destroy my gear, and I caught a lot of flack for that. People are like, oh, yeah, if you don't put the camera in danger, you're never gonna get the shot. And you're right. So I didn't get the shot. Let's see, then we went to Colorado, got some interesting footage there. It was drone footage, and I'm not part 107 yet. I'm actually going to be getting that really soon. So I can't use it. It was just really practice on the drone, just getting my feels for it, seeing what's cool, what's not. It's been a while since I'd had a drone, so it was nice to get back into practice of it. And then I wanted some snow, so we went seeking snow, and basically all of Colorado was going to be getting snow, so that was cool. So we went to this one spot that I like to go to. There's a little secluded spot you can camp that's right down in some nice evergreens, and you got a nice brook or a creek that flows right by there. It's really nice, and I was going to get some long shots of the creek, and I was also working with the anamorphics, and hopefully the audio is working. Is the audio working? Somebody's got to tell me if the audio is working. Let's see here. Let's see, settings, make sure the audio, test. Yep, the audio's working. Okay, cool. Then get to wonderful the campsite, and there's a group of beavers that moved in, and they transformed that campsite quite a bit, and then they transformed my creek quite a lot. Apparently, it's a very fast-moving creek, and apparently they weren't very pleased with the first dam, so they built 3 more dams, like right where I have been shooting for a couple of years now, and it kind of just destroyed that. Not to mention the fact that, there's signs everywhere clearly stating you may not chop down any trees or gather wood. The beavers, they did not, they just did their own thing. They chopped those trees down. They didn't even read the sign. I don't understand. What's wrong with the beavers nowadays? I mean, they took out, I would say, 15 of those evergreens, and those evergreens in that little area were pretty big, not insignificant evergreens, but yeah. So there was that, and then we said, oh, and if you hear noise in the background, that's a fan over there for a ice machine, and that's a long story. So then we left that campsite, and we went east on I-70, and immediately got destroyed by a winter storm. It was so bad. There were no, if you hear that banging, that's ice. It was the ice. It was so bad on the road. Everybody was moved over to the right. The ice had formed almost 2 full inches thick on the road and was hard. The 18-wheelers weren't even turning it to slush. It was like a rapid cold snap. I mean, the Colorado Subaru drivers were still going fairly fast in the left lane, but I saw several of them slow down. And if you know Colorado Subaru drivers, yeah, so it was kind of bad. But there were no plows anywhere. And we were on this one section between, Gypsum and, where is it? Let's see here. Maps. Where the maps at? There the maps. So we were between Rifle and Glenwood Springs. And there's no exits there. And you're going uphill the whole way, which I'm okay with going up the hill. I was more concerned with, at some point, we're going to crest a hill. When you crest a hill, with ice, you don't stop normally. There was like one exit. The moth? There was like one exit, and it snuck up on us. We didn't get to see it, and all the 18-wheelers slammed on their brakes and filled up the exit and the right lane, which was quite dangerous. But they weren't moving, so I said, we're not gonna stay on this, or we're not gonna try to exit. It's not gonna work. So then we kept going another 6 miles very slowly and found an exit with a rest area of all places, which is cool. And we pulled in with like everybody else. We waited there for about an hour, I guess. Which, I mean, it's totally fine in that van because we got heat. You don't have to have the engine running. We just sat in the back with the the diesel heater fired up, and we were nice and toasty. And we were on the internet. It was nice. And then I kept looking kind of back at the, and meanwhile, about 7 inches of snow had fallen really quickly. I looked back at the freeway and I started seeing cars zooming by on westbound. And then like 20 minutes later, they were zooming by on the eastbound. I said, let's go give it a shot. Got on the freeway, and I mean, it was like driving in a light rain, even though it was like pure ice. I mean, they do a really good job there when they get on the road. So it was an adventure, and then literally the whole way from there we couldn't escape the snow. We couldn't escape the wind. The wind was something else. And then we tried to make it down. Well, we couldn't get into any national forests still, even in April. I figured some would be kind of starting to open, but no, I guess if you're going to have winter storms massively pouring in, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a problem. We ended up way south, and then we kept going south. Where did we... we were somewhere in southern Colorado, and hello 08, and hello Kevin. We just kept going south, and we're trying to find maybe some clear skies, because the clouds were in the skies at night. We were getting no night sky. The sun during the day, when it wasn't like brutally winter, was a blue jean sky, which there's no sunrise, there's no sunset to capture. It was pretty like, really, this is our trip, this is what it's going to boil down to. And then like the last night, I think basically we were in like northwest of Roswell, New Mexico, and we were kind of up in the hills. No, so we got. That was another thing. So we, where were we? So we had come down. Where is it? We were going to. Yeah, so we were kind of heading down to Teos, because down there were lots of national forests that had no snow, but they just don't even open the national forest at all. They just, I guess at sometime around June, they might just go ahead and open it, but they close it all off. I mean, there were like 10 cars parked at every national forest road, and they're all hiking because they can't get in. I was like, that's dumb. And then we went to, what was that road? It was, oh man, where is it? Taos. What is it? It was quite interesting. There was Chamayo. There it is. So we're taking the road down the national forest roads, just basically hugging the national forest, trying to find any of them that were open, in the hopes that we could just at least hang out there in the forest and take some cool shots. Maybe get some wildlife that we were trying to get. And then all of a sudden the roads all were like coned off. They're like no stopping, no parking. I'm like, what? And then there's this event called Road to Chamayo that I guess it goes back. We had to look it up to figure out what the heck it was, because there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people walking on the road. And it's like an annual event for Easter where everybody, I guess, takes a trek. Some of them do short, but some of them come all the way from the south and walk all the way up to Chamayo to some church that has some blessed land, holy land that the Native Americans had blessed, or what, I don't know, whatever. That was interesting, driving through that very slowly. And then we got down to where was it? Somewhere in New Mexico. It was somewhere northwest of Roswell. Where is Roswell? So we were in, I guess we were just slightly northwest of Roswell at Corizozo, something like that. And then there were like forest fires that were happening. And there was one up in the mountains, and we started seeing helicopters dropping. I was like, okay, finally, then we'll get something cool out of this. We're going to get some peaking. Okay, let me, How's that? Is that any better? Let me know if that. Usually it's this volume level that's peaking. I hope it's not this. Let me see. Test, test, test. Let me see. I mean, all my gear is in a shambles right now. Test, test, test. No, that's not that one. Okay. Should be better now. Thank you. And I don't know what's up with the flashing. That's something with the connection. I don't know. So we get up into the mountains to find a cool spot that we can see the forest fire and be able to film it and film those helicopters. It was going to be really cool. It was 25-mile-an-hour gusts and winds, and kind of hid behind the van, got it all set up, and I had to drape over my head to kind of protect from wind and dust and be able to see it, and then just start rolling, get that helicopter, it's awesome, and then they never flew back. I guess they got it under control. It didn't look under control at the time, but I guess they got it under control. Hey, Bill. Hey, Matt. So, yeah, that was when we were like, really, this was our trip. So that was two of the weekends that I was gone. I was working another one. I had a job the weekend before here in Austin, and then when I got back, then I had a so got back from the trip, and I had a job scheduled for the next weekend, which was going to blow the live stream. And then I had another job in Dallas for 2 days, the Wednesday and Thursday before. So it was like these massive turnarounds on gear, because I had all this gear in the van for our treks, and then I had to pull it all back out, resort it all, put it all back in the van with lights and everything else for this job in Dallas, and then take it all back out, resort it all, take it all for my weekend job, and then we're back. But I haven't leveled my slider. I'm just seeing it right now for the. I was really rushed for time today. I was having to rebuild my studio from all of the various trips. Cameras were everywhere. You name it. So yeah, that was why I've been gone for a month. Lots of work. I do enjoy the work, and I wish the work wasn't on Fridays, because I really do enjoy these live streams. But I'm going to take work. I'm always going to take work. Let's see, 08 says, have you been to NAB, Scott? Sadly, didn't get a chance to join the show. I did not get to go this year. I wanted to really badly, but that weekend job this last weekend called me out of the blue, and we're like, hey, we need 4 commercial spots. And I'm like, okay, I will hook you up. So, there we go. So I did that because I like money. Let's see, I'm in focus. Everything seems to be, that fell down again. Dadgummit. You're not supposed to see this green right here, or that cheap can light right there, because there was a black piece of cloth that seems to never stay stuck. So yeah, how have you been? What have you been up to? I got some cool stuff I can show you too. This thing right here, and that thing, and I've got I've been playing with the latest firmware for the Kessler Cine Shooter, where it adds a ton of cool features, and he told me I could tell you about it. So, and these will be out shortly. Let me go back to that. But to answer yours, 08, I've been to NAB every year since 2014, I think it is, with the exception of when NAB wasn't open the last 2 years, and then this year I did not get to go. I tried to fly out there, but flights were insane. I would have flown out like Sunday afternoon and then come back like Tuesday, but flights were just not going to happen. But I love it, AB. I love the networking out there. So the stuff that's in the new Kessler firmware. So first off, and this is something I am personally, well, I need to trim my hairs. Something I am personally really happy for. They now support Dragon Frame. So that's pretty cool. If you know what Dragon Frame is, you know. It is it's for stop motion animation, and now you can use Kessler motion control, all the Kessler motion control, well, Cine Shooter and everything that can connect to Cine Shooter with Dragon Frame, and it's pretty sweet. I'll get to some more details after I answer that question from 08 Visual Design. Hello. What is the weight capacity of the Kessler Cine Shooter? So there are two versions now of the Kessler Cine Shooter. There is the regular Cine Shooter and there's Cine Shooter Macro. Now what Cine Shooter Macro does is it goes for a higher gear ratio, which slows the unit down about 4 times. The unit already had speed to spare. It was hilariously fast and powerful. But the regular Cine Shooter can handle 15 pounds with the standard L bracket. And then they have the HD bracket, which is a dual pillar bracket. That's an option for the Cine Shooter. And it can handle rated 25 pounds. Between you and me, it's way up there. You can go like a lot more. But Kessler, being the engineers that they are and the safety and longevity, they've derated it quite a bit. But like 35 pounds, it can do that with the HD. Now the macro, which is this guy right here, the macro, because of its taller gear or higher gear ratio, can actually do higher. I don't think they're rating the standard L bracket any higher than 15 pounds, and that's just because it's a single L. I'm on this camera. It's a single L, and you'll get flex if you go too far beyond 15 pounds. I mean, you can do 20 pounds on it. It won't be a problem. When you do the HD, though, I think they're rating it for even more, like 30-ish. 35 pounds. 08 says, short question, can I put my Alexa on there? Yep, you can put an Amira on there, a fully rigged out cinema camera, no problem. I have had my Red Dragon absolutely loaded out, cinema glass, matte box, follow focus motors, monitor, everything on there, big battery. And that was the regular Cine Shooter. And if you look back on my Instagram like a year and a half ago, you can see it running from one end of the Cine slider to the other, doing a 180-degree pan and a full, probably 100-degree tilt. And it did that in 2.8 seconds. It's really fast. So yes, it can handle it quite easily. What you will have to do is, of course, make sure it's balanced in there. If you put the roll axis on there, you will not be able to run your Alexa. Well, Alexa Mini, maybe, but the design limitations of getting the roll axis in there is that it cuts the back end of the camera depth off, so you can't get as much in there. Let me let me grab a prop and show you. I'll grab the roll axis, and I will grab, not that, I will grab that. Okay. So, oopsie, I gotta watch my dog. I couldn't get the doggy cam up because my HDMI cable is not the right cable. Hi, bud. But he's right down here, upside down, as usual. I would totally show you. Oh, I can show you, actually. Let's do the doggy cam. Let's do this. Let's see here. We're in, let's see, let's go over here. I can show you guys, I don't mind. We'll go down all the way over, and then we're gonna go to, oops, wrong way. Pay attention, Scott, like you know what you're doing, pretend. And then we're gonna pan up. That would be panning the wrong direction. Everything's backwards. All right, here comes the dog. And oh, there's part of a dog. Let's see here. Can we go further down? Yes, we can. And then we can zoom out. There's Puppy. There's the doggo cam. Hey, buddy. You doing? You good boy? Give me 5. That's my boy. Good boy. Yeah, good puppy. That's Rex the Wonder Dog. He's been kind of limping lately. I don't know what's happened with his rear leg. He just kind of hanging out there. So, okay. Sorry for my coughing. So the standard L bracket from the Cine Shooter is basically this right here. It mounts on the side, and then you can mount your quick release or whatever you want right here, and your camera works like that. This is the HD support bracket. So the HD support bracket there's a second bearing and support module on both sides, which then allows you to hang, much more weight, distributed, et cetera, et cetera. This is the roll module, which, if you notice, is almost identical to the HD support bracket, because this slips into the HD support bracket, and then you use your L bracket into there. So that way you get your roll this way, and then you mount your camera frontwards. So this is the Kessler roll. It's a nice music video out there. If you've never had a chance to see it, just look up the Kessler roll. It's one of my finest works. The doggo, he just sleeping. So we can go back and run this now. Okay, skip. Why did it flash though? Why is it flashing? There it goes. And loop scrub, and we'll run that. Okay. Now what's interesting, now I gotta reset that up. Hold on, let's see. We're gonna go back here. It's interesting, I didn't know it was going to do that. So this is beta firmware, it'll be out shortly. Zoom in, there we go, and then take me back. Oh, hello, here I am. Okay, and then we go out, and then we go program, and we go skip, and we go loop scrub, and we go down. So what, yeah, okay. So Zero says, thanks, definitely marked on my next gear to buy list. Yes, so if you do, right down below, there's a little affiliate link. Yeah, and I think the coupon code is still working. It's only 5%, but it's 5%. So use that coupon code. And yeah, order. That would be, save you a little bit of money. And it helps out the channel a little bit. Back to cool things that are in the new Kessler Cine Shooter firmware. Yeah, nice coughing. So Dragon Frame is supported in there. Also, this is the digital control center from Kessler, and they've had this for a while. And this was used with Second Shooter. Kind of see what it is. So it's a control box module with a big joystick. It allows you to control something remotely. So what it was originally good for, and I say originally because it's still that and then more, was you mount this on the bottom of, say, a jib, and then you could put your Cine Shooter, well, you have to use Second Shooter at the time, up on top of the jib, and then you have full remote operation of your camera. You can do focus, zoom, iris, pan, tilt, all the things that you need to do remotely up there. You can now, with the new version of firmware, which will be out really soon, really soon, you can control the Cine Shooter with the DCC. So you can use it to program your moves. So it's a great remote operation. You can use it to manually perform. So if you want to just do kind of a manual slide and just a little bit of turn, you want to track something, you can do all that. You can control your speed and your damping, your deadband, all of that stuff you can do on the DCC. And that's really cool. What else is in there? So they, oh, really? You finally, oh man. Remind me to tell you about the Apple AirPods story. So they also will be supporting Scarhoy, which is broadcast standard remote pan and tilt control, that kind of stuff. It's used all over the broadcast industry. And now you can use Kessler Cine Shooter with the Scarhoy. And I mean, what's really cool about it, you can actually configure this all up with a Scarhoy using, what do they call it, a blue pill, I think it is, and then their control box. You can have this in Australia, and you can control it from your house live with like 100 millisecond lag. That's nothing. It's kind of amazing. That's in there. They've done a few bug fixes. They have included a cool little feature that I personally requested, and that is reverse to home. And why is that important, reverse to home? I do a lot of work with the probe lens. And you set up a cool shot overhead, usually is the way I'm doing that, and you get your probe going kind of through your items or whatever you're shooting through, and then if you went straight home, it would find the shortest path to go home, which might end up being plowing right through your set, your little mini set. And they've had kind of that function in Chaos for a while, and I said, can we have that in Cine Shooter? And they're like, okay, yeah, we can do it with the app. So they'll be returned to home in the app so that it will retrace its steps. So if you program it to wiggle through, it will wiggle backwards out, backing the truck up nicely, which is super nice, super nice. What other features are there? Man, there's a bunch in there. they they've been working their tail end off uh, getting this thing, but it's slick. The macro. So I had my cine shooter upgraded to macro, which anybody could do. I don't remember the price. It's just a one time upgrade fee. You send it in, and they'll swap out the gearboxes and motors, and then you now have a macro. The cool thing about the macro is that it is such a fine resolution that, I mean, you can literally like orbit around a pea with well, the probe lens to me is the most telling lens when it comes to like something is too fast. You'll see it in the probe because the probe is way out there, and when it moves, it's kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Well, you could. I mean, anything can make it wiggle. But with a macro, nothing. Okay. Zero says, by the way, what accessories would for the Kessler Shuttle Dolly? It's number one on my gear list. Hey, you said the cine shooter was. So it's number one on my gear list, and there are some shoots coming up where I definitely would need it. So, couple of things. The shuttle dolly, if you're just going to use it like as a standalone dolly, then you really just need the 100 millimeter bowl, because it comes with a cheese plate on top, and then you can get a 100 millimeter bowl. You can get a Mitchell mount. If you use Mitchell, then get a Mitchell. But I like the 100 millimeter bowl mount. They also have, let me grab it here. The bowl mount is nice because then you can just take you just take your head off your tripod and stick it right on there. If you're shooting Alexa, you might be using Mitchell. I don't know. You can put the Mitchell on there. I also like the hi-hat that they have for manual use. So you would then take this and bolt it straight down on top of the cheese plate, and then it has a 100 millimeter bowl on top. Look at that. I got a close-up camera. It's a little dark. I can fix that. But it's got a 100 millimeter bowl on top, but it gives you a nice little kind of offset so that you're up a little higher on the shuttle dolly. The other thing that I would say, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say something, I'm going to go on a whim, and I'm going to take one for the team and just kind of share with you that there's some new wheels coming for Shuttle Dolly that are softer. And there's been this balancing act that you want to do with wheels on dollies, and especially with a dolly that's designed to handle, I think it's like 150 pounds on the shuttle dolly. I know I've had it well over 100. If you let it sit, like the Dana Dolly wheels, are very soft. They're very forgiving for hand movement. But if you let it sit with weight on it, then you'll flatten them out. So that all of a sudden you're like, and that's not good for anybody. So Kessler's always had a much harder wheel to prevent flattening. And then they're finding, they've done tons and tons and tons of more tests, and they're now going to offer a different wheel that is, he gave me the numbers of the deflection and all this stuff, but it's a few steps down in softness over the harder shuttle dolly wheels. But it'll be more forgiving, especially if you're using like crappy speed rail from a rental house where, they don't treat it right. Like me, I bring my speed rail. I have the Kessler screw-in speed rail that I use for small stuff and portable stuff. But then I have 20 feet of it suspended up here. That is 6061 aircraft aluminum tube, but it's mine. No one touches it, and thus it's absolutely smooth until someone touches it. But I even bring emery cloth and I smooth it out, and that's how you get, exceptionally smooth shots. But these new soft wheels, this is cold. I need to turn this up. Hold on. These new soft wheels will help quite a bit with evening out the bumps that could occur on like crappy speed rail. So I would, if you're going to order one. But tell them you want the new wheels, and I think we're a few weeks away from that. But use my link. And if you tell them that you heard about the wheels, don't tell them who told you. I guess it doesn't matter. Go ahead and tell them I told you, because you'll be using my link anyway. They'll be like, "No, I don't think that adds up." I'll ask for forgiveness for letting that cat out of the bag. So yeah, for the Shuttle Dolly, you don't really need a lot. If you're doing motion control with it, what I would tell you is, because it uses that Kevlar gear belt, don't just get the amount of Kevlar gear belt that you think you need right now. Get like 20 feet. It's cheap up front because you got to buy it anyway. It's not necessarily cheap to begin with because it's Kevlar. But all you have to do, I have a 20-foot section of it. And if I'm not using but like 7 feet of it, I just coil it up and I just clip it to the side. It's no big deal. Just leave it there. So get more belt than you need. But other than that, the Shuttle Dolly is solid. I love that thing. I love how compact it is, especially with the close-in wheels. That's slicker than snot, as they say. 08, if you have any more questions about it, let me know. I'll happy to answer. I love to answer stuff. Ruben says, "Hey, what do you think about the Canon Infinity Mavo Edge 8K? It looks interesting. I've never played with it, and I didn't get to go to NAB, so I didn't get to see it. Canon Infinity's been doing some cool stuff. What I don't like is when companies try to be red. Let me rephrase that, because red is not the be all end all, but red has the compressed raw patent. So they try to be the compressed raw patent, but they're not. Just say you're not. That's fine. But when you tell people that you're raw or that you have this and that, you don't really, then it's not cool. However, Canon Infinity's been making some nice images lately. From what I saw, I thought it looked pretty nice. I would love to try one out. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I'm not so sure about that new one. Did y'all see that from NAB? It was like a Chinese knockoff of a red. Which one was it? It was the Bosma. It kind of looks like a Phantom Flex 4K short and a red V-Raptor kind of combined. And it's really cheap. I don't know. We'll see about that. Let's see here. I should be popping these questions up. Dadgummit. Man, it's been so long, I don't even know how to run my live stream. Fire me. I kind of gone cheap and used the Sattler Video 18. I don't know that that's cheap. I like that. I like the actives from Sattler. I don't really like Sattler myself. There's something about the head is not. It like doesn't work with my brain the way that they do it. It's not bad. I think it was the pan. The pan I didn't like. The tilt is fine. That's a quick lever. That's very similar to the Miller. Yeah, the Sattler, that's a 100 millimeter, I think, for the 18. Should be. It shouldn't be a 75, but if it's a 75, Kessler sells a bowl adapter. It's just a drop-in ring. 2560 or 25. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh no, not comparable to a 2560. I mean, I'd like to have a Connor. I like the Connors. O'Connors. O'Connors. And Tommy says, agreed. And Tommy, thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate you as a member. It's always nice to have my members in here. So yeah, it's a slow start here to the live stream, and that's cool because it's been a while. I mean, we're starting to build up some peoples. Peoples are starting to flow in, if you will. Live, okay. So who's got questions? Who's got stuff that they're working on? What kind of cool stuff you're working on? I am working on myself. Besides another job next week for 4 days, which I love. I am working on a 4 to 6 week adventure. I'm trying to bring on some sponsors, but not. I mean, I'm not looking for, commercial. I want someone to help with gas. So somehow, some way, I don't know. But I'm working on planning out this trip. It looks like it'll probably be sometime at the end of May now. And then I'll be gone for like 6 weeks. I'm planning on driving up towards Chicago first, and then cutting over along the northern border of Canada, and then they kind of hit some national parks because now you can commercially film in there, so I can get my shots like that beautiful little grizzly bear cub, and I'm going to hit a bunch of different spots along the way, all nature, time lapse, video stuff. Who knows? Maybe I'll even do some little mini docs along the way. I need to make up for this last trip that didn't go so well. Bill says, final day of principal photography will be Sunday for the Great Dismal. And if y'all have been following this channel for a while, you remember Bill Howard has been on here. He's been on the live stream. Didn't we do a live stream? Yeah, we've done live streams, a couple of them. And Bill, we did that cinematography 50-week challenge, whatever it was. And then now he wrote a movie, and he's shooting a movie, and he's got some good actors and all kinds of stuff. It's he's almost done. It's looking pretty good. And then Bill just bought the Z9 from Nikon. He's very, very happy with himself right now because he gets to shoot like 8K raw. Go to the Badlands. I am going to go to the Badlands. I am going to go there. And Bill, you got to remind me. Hit me up, and I'll tell you a secret. Just ask me to tell you the secret. Right after COVID hit, we did a live show. That's true. It was after COVID. We also did the one in South Carolina or North Carolina. We did it on the side of the mountain there. 08 says, I'm just curious. And what the lead time is for Komodo in the U.S. Still waiting on mine in Europe. I have heard that it's shrinking pretty rapidly. That I think it's like less than 2 weeks from Red. I know like B&H and Adorama and some of the others have had some come in stock that were available for sale. So yeah, you might look to see if another red authorized reseller in Europe might have one in stock. Because I mean, I know it's like tough going to B&H. They're huge and they're great. They always have stuff, but everybody goes to B&H for pre-orders and then you stand in line forever. But they're definitely still back ordered. They're not real time, but you will find some in some stores. You should stay away from California if you're on a budget. I just checked gas. Yeah, I am going to go through California. I am going to go. I'm going to spend more time. Last time I went down through there, I did not have as much time as I wanted. I am going to spend time in the redwood forests way up north, and I want to spend a little more time at Big Sur and kind of cruise around there. Even though my favorite camping spot is still freaking closed because of I don't know if it was forest fires or hold on, I gotta fix this. It was either forest fires or forest fires, rains after forest fires, or raining forest fires. I don't know what it was. But my Nacimiento Ferguson Road that is there in Big Sur is still closed. But yeah, gas is definitely a concern, and that's why I kind of want to get a little bit of a sponsor going. We'll see what I can do. YouTube says nobody's watching too. it's just us. That's weird. It happens. It's I mean, people, they kind of fall out of love. We go through difficult times, and they're like, that Scott guy, he don't ever live stream anymore. So yeah. And then like videos. I haven't been uploading videos. And I've got lots of excuses, and you've heard them before, but mostly it's been work. I've been doing a lot of work, like these 4 commercial spots that I gotta put together. I mean, I'm going through 2 terabytes of footage and parsing that up, and only part of that was Komodo. The other parts were Sony, and Sony is a very small codec, so you can imagine what 2 terabytes of footage looks like. It's a lot. So I'm doing that. Tommy's like, just do it. Do it. I will do it. But I want to go back to that rainforest up in, I mean, it's funny because I'm going back to all the places that I've been, but only because now I have more time, because then I was on kind of a little bit of a time crunch to get through various places on my big long tour. That was 2018. Wow, that was a long time ago. And I've been planning to do this like every year, but COVID, that's really cool and gets in the way of everybody. So yeah, there's a rainforest up in Northwest Oregon that's really cool, and I want to spend more time in there. I love all the textures that are on like the trees and like those fungus that grow, and I want to take motion control and just like go nuts in there, especially with all the macro stuff, and just get some cool shots. And then last time I did this, I guess I should do it the other way. I mean, I did this long round tour of the U.S. And this time I want to kind of go dip thing, so I can fill in the gaps in the middle and go to some new places. And I really want to have my part 107 before then. Sorry. Um, how many of y'all have your Part 107s? I think, Bill, you have yours. Anybody else have their Part 107? I guess 08, you probably don't have a Part 107 since you're in Europe. Wow, it's still cold in here. What in the world? Oh, I can't. I guess I gotta. Well, I'll light up and then we'll get a nice haze and then we'll turn on the fan. Um, doo-doo-doo. It's Friday. I deserve it. Let's see here. 08 says, I would have loved to visit the Aperture booth. I want to tell them that the Nova 300 yoke is trash and would spend much money if they decided to sell one separate like the one from the 600. I mean, tell them. The best way to tell them would be to send them an email because they're not going to. They don't do support on their Facebook. But what is it you don't like about the Nova 300? I have not had a problem with the yoke myself. What problem are you having with it? Is it the single lock? I take that thing everywhere. The 600 is pretty nice though. It's the 600 is it's solid and good. I like the 300 though. Bill says I've got mine. Yeah, it wasn't that hard. I remember studying for it, and I was going to take it, and that was like right at the beginning, right before COVID kind of did its thing, and then I couldn't find testing, and there's no online testing. You physically have to go in person, which is okay. I get it. They don't want someone taking it for you, but I mean, I got to go study for it. I got to go get it, and I got to find time to do it because I need to study for it right before I take it because that's how I learn the best. Because otherwise, I'll be like squirrel and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna turn on my fan real quick. It's okay, buddy. Just gonna turn on my fan. Who's got questions? Who's got stuff? Did y'all see the new Aperture's 600C Pro? That looks quite interesting. It'll be interesting. Also up against the Pro Light 675, I think they have for the Pro Light. It'd be like a pure battle royale. And then we'll be having some lens tests on here. I'm still working on the anamorphics because you can't use them everywhere. Kevin, bye Kevin, back on later, cool. The anamorphics you can't just use them on every job, so it's been off and on here and there. But some affordable lenses, and we'll see how they do. And Tommy, I know I spoke with you about these. I didn't realize which ones these were. These are not the ones that I've seen and that I had an opinion on. These are different and different in a good way. Well, different that I know where the design came from, put it that way. But that'll be coming really shortly. So 08 says, it is really wobbly and feels so unstable. This is the area where it is visible or viable, still viable in my opinion to buy a sky panel. I don't get that 08. What's the wobbly part? My voice is like cracking. That sounds really, I sound like Shaggy. I I'm trying to form my words. Let's use your words, Scott. Come on. I don't get that 08. I mean, please explain. I'm not doubting you. Don't get me wrong. I just I have not experienced flimsy at all with that Nova. Uh, I'm interested in finding out what is that you are experiencing. Are you using it on like a light stand or like a C stand, or are you putting them on, like a low boy or a combo or anything like that, or super combo? Um, uh, Ruben says, "What are your thoughts on the DZO Vespids?" I like the DZO Vespids far more than I like the Pictor Zooms. I have not been a huge fan of the Pictors, and I've been a little vocal about it. So much so that people were asking me, like, "What do you got against those?" They're soft. The the uh, the Pictor Zooms are soft. They're a 4K at best resolution lens. The Vespids, on the other hand, are a little bit of a nicer design, and they're a little sharper. Um, and I have not shot with them. I've only played with them, but I've not shot with them on any of my projects. So I don't have a firm and formal opinion of the Vespids, but I've heard good things. I've seen good things from Vespids, but I've also heard some negatives about them too. I would love to get my hands on a set to review and let everybody know. But to date, that hasn't happened. Thank you, COVID. But maybe soon. We'll see. I know some people with them. Maybe I'll try to hit one of them up and say, "Hey, let me play." Takina released their new 180 millimeter VistaVision. Uh, that thing is super cool. It's really big too, but I mean, you know how much I love the Vista Primes from Takina. So the 180, that lens set is, other than the weight of the lens set, is one of my top pick lens sets in the universe for not uh, not lights. Let's see here. Zero says, I just use combos for my lights that have the junior pin option. I think the Gaffer and Gear has expressed the issue too, but maybe it's just me. I mean, I, I, I definitely treat gear differently than a lot of people too. I don't trash my gear, and I definitely don't let people trash my gear. Now I've rented this stuff out quite a bit, and it comes back in one piece. Um, So I also look to see if they trash it. But I mean, so far I really dig the Nova 300 a lot. I like the 600. I wish I had a case for it because it is a pain in the butt transporting it. Otherwise, we've used the Nova 600 quite a bit, and the 1200D Pro, and you also saw the new 600D non-pros. Those are pretty cool. If you don't need the waterproofing, it's basically the same build construction. It's just not water resistant. You're missing the wireless ArcNet and that stuff. But I mean, you're saving $500 and you get a 600D. It's pretty cool. 1200D, man. I mean, like we were shooting last week. We were fighting the sun in a building. It was an airport terminal, and we had to run two 1200Ds through a 12 by just for a medium shot like this, just to equal the sun that was in the background because we didn't want to blow out the windows. Hold on here, I got to relight here. Dylan has a question. One second, Dylan. This is not holding its flame very low. I want to see about that. Gotta stop talking so much. Okay. Dylan says, I'm looking to purchase Red Gemini for the use of production on music videos. What's the best route to capture scratch audio? The built-in scratch audio mics. There are 2 of them on the front, and you can assign them to channel 1 and 2, or you can assign them to channel 3 and 4 if you're going to feed it your clean audio. And that's typically what I do. I always use the internal scratch just in case. But yeah, you can just route it to whatever you want, and they work quite well. I mean, you're not going to use them, but they work quite well. I mean, you're not going to use them for production, but yeah. The quality doesn't need to be film level, since obviously it will be replaced in post with the studio mastered soundtrack. Yep. Should I acquire a shotgun microphone or a portable recorder, or both? This is what I'll tell you about Red Audio. You all know I loves me some Red, but one of their weakest links in their cameras is their audio interfaces. They've gotten better. In fact, they've gotten a lot better. And don't get me wrong, I use them, but there's ways to use a Red audio interface. Yeah, that's their audio interface. You can buy the production module and get the. I don't think they sell the production module anymore. I'm pretty sure they don't. And that gives you better audio preamps, but not a whole lot better. What I do, if you are by yourself, I use a Zoom H6 recorder. That Zoom H6 is really good preamps compared to the Red. The Red levels, pull them all the way down to the bottom. Never use gain on the Red preamps. As long as you don't use gain, then you'll be fine. You can use the audio coming into the Red. What you do is you just pump it up. You set your audio levels properly in your H6 and come out of the line out of the H6 with a little 1/8" stereo into the line in the Red. And that gives you a mess on your table. What that gives you is really good, solid audio going into the Red, very low noise. You still have your scratch tracks on tracks 3 and 4. Yeah, you'll get that. Plus, you could do things like on the H6, you could come in on channel 1 and record channel 1, and then channel 2 is a copy of 1 but turned down a little bit, just in case. It's there's a lot of cool things with that. And I usually just mount that H6 like right, either I'm on tripods or on sticks, I'll mount it right to the side of the tripod, or I have mounted it right on the back using like a little Noga arm. Like that, and I just come right off of the back and then mount it to the side. It's great. You get multiple recordings, and you're good. Okay, Aaron, I'm a novice. I've recently purchased a Ninja 5 for my A-Cam, Sony A7C, okay, and I record it in ProRes. My B-Cam is an A6600 and I record internally, okay? Let me drop down to your question here. The question is, when editing in DaVinci Resolve, does it matter if my input is H.264 and I export in ProRes? Will I benefit from getting a second? Well, yeah, you will. So, do you have the ability on the, you do on the, well, first off, If you have a solid computer, this works. So you need a good computer to edit in H.265, but I'm pretty sure your A7C and the A6600 can both record in the XAVC, I think they call it, which is H.265. What you get is a better compression. So H.265 is a better compression than H.264, or it's a more compressed than H.264. But where the better comes in is your recording is limited to 100 megabits on internal on your Sonys. So even like up here's the ZV-1 that I was trying to hook up. The 100 megabits in H.265 will benefit you better because you will get more information in there because it's a better codec. So, yeah, go ahead, focus. Yeah, try to catch me through all that. So, what you will gain in ProRes is a much easier time editing, depending on what you're editing with. What are you editing with? Let me just ask that before I give you too much advice one direction. It may not even matter. What machine are you editing with? I mean, are you going to get a benefit? Not picture-wise. I mean, a little bit. But I'll explain that in a minute. Okay, iMac 2017. That's probably okay for editing H.265. It definitely will handle ProRes a lot better. Is that the 4-core or 2017? That was probably 8-core. Did they have an 8-core back then? They might have. Okay, so ProRes in Apple's ecosphere is always going to be a very light load codec for editing. It's very easy to edit. H.264 all I interframe recording, which means it has a keyframe every frame, is a very light codec for editing. When they go to the longer form, long GOP, H.264, and then the H.265 is doubled down on that, that's when it starts to strain your computers. So what you gain with your ProRes, you're not going to gain any more dynamic range. You're not going to gain any higher bit depth going to those on these two cameras. Now, on these cameras, so this is the A7S III and this is the A7 IV. This one has full RAW out through HDMI. I think that one does too. In those cases, you could then record at, say, 10 bits or I don't think Ninja does 12 bits, but you could do RAW. I know you can do RAW with the A7S III. I don't know if you can actually do it with the A7 IV. I don't think you can. So you're not going to gain dynamic range. You're not going to gain... the only thing you're going to gain is an easier time editing in post. What you are going to sacrifice is a lot more data usage. Because ProRes, the minimum ProRes is like 220 megabits. That's for anything that we'd use. And then internal to those cameras, I think it's 100 megabits. And I believe those might be 420. So that I need to look that up. Let me just look real quick. Please hold while I look up the specs. I looked at the 6600 once and I changed my mind about it and wanted to go full frame. But let me just see here. So we can record. Stookadoo. Give me the numbers. Give me the coolness. Give me everything you want. Video. There we go. So it's 100 megabits. Yes, you get XAVC S. Okay. So that's going to be a heavier codec for editing. It does not say the bit depth. External, you are going to get 422, which will definitely help, especially if you're doing any like VFX work or anything. You may not always see the difference, but you probably will. There's more information in there for color with 422, which also means you should never record more than ProRes HQ because you're not going to gain anything. What I don't know is it 422 internal? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's 420. So you'll gain that. Really, quit it. Stop it. The other one was the A7C. Now that one, I know it's going to have the same H.264 and H.265. But it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what it. Let's just look it up real quick. I'll give you a solid answer because I care. Real quick, A7C. Ba-doop-boo. Come on, give me the information. 420. Yeah, okay. So if the A7C is 420, I guarantee the A6600. I'm not even drinking. The A6600 is 420 as well, and it's 8-bit. And externally, you get 422 8-bit as well. So both of those. So you will equal the same externally, and you will have a slightly better color image with more color to work with, recording to ProRes to an Atomos Ninja 5. So yes, you will benefit. Your negative is you're going to use more disk space. But yeah, I mean, the A7S3 and the A7 IV both have the 10-bit 422 encoding internal, which is fine. The XAVC with that is wonderful, and I love it all day long. And I would tell people, no, you don't need ProRes for that. So yeah, okay. Let me get back to Dylan. Dylan says, so honestly, I would be fine with just the internal microphone. There's a lot of factors. I'm planning. I personally love to get the audio in because if I don't have to line it up, what am I saving? So, I mean, if you're recording it and you're getting the same high quality recording because you're coming out of it into your red, then you don't need to use this. It's a backup. I'm planning on mount the Gemini on the Pro-Aim Comet crane attached to a bazooka on a dolly with tracks. Okay. And then I will be using the Bose F1 812. You all right, buddy? His legs he's got arthritis or something. Bose F1 812 for playback, which will be on the street F1 812. Oh, that's the self-powered speaker. Yeah. Okay. Which will be on the street behind the entire dolly system. The talent will be standing on the roof of a building performing. Okay. How tall is that roof? And how far are they going to be? Because that's going to introduce delay, and that might be a problem. I mean, it really won't matter getting the audio in. So honestly, I would be fine with just using internal microphone. There's a lot of factors I was planning to mount the Gemini to the Pro-Aim Comet crane attached to the bazooka. Okay, I got that. Okay. How did I? It just scrolled back up or something. Weird. Aaron says, thanks so much. You are entirely welcome. King! Hello, King. Scott, what has been your experience with the Venice 2? That much. I've not shot with it on a project, so I can't give you my official thumbs up or thumbs down. I hear nice things about it. I hear nicer things with the 8K. But in the end, it's really, really expensive for what you're getting, though. It really is. I hate to say that, but I mean, Red stomps it into the ground with capabilities, color, everything. And the V-Raptor is a third of the price. Well, half the price when you add in all accessories. But yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow. Reach! I'm here. Let's talk about the Fran 8K. Well, let's talk about the Fran 8K. I've got my mouse right here. We can have some good conversations on there. Let me boot it up. Does anybody have the second power supply that you need for the Fran 8K? Fran 8K is dead. It's dead, I tell you. King says the image of all the other Sonys seem to be garbage. I don't know I don't know if I agree with that. The Venice 1 makes a very nice image. I like it. It is a little noisy, but I like it. The Venice 2 is a little better than the Venice 1, and I like it. I like where Sony has gone with their color science and their sensor tech. I mean, I really love the A7S III and now the A7 IV. I mean, they don't replace my other Reds because that's what I use when it matters. This is what I use when it's fast, fun, quick, easy, cheap, that kind of stuff. Have you used the Mavo 8K? No, we were talking about that earlier, and I would like to get my hands on it. I've heard some interesting things about it. I've seen some nice images out of it. I'm not trashing it. So yeah, it's I would love to play with it. I should back up when I do that. And I did finally buy. Well, I mean, I've had the kit lens, the little kit lens that I've used forever, the Sony. But I did finally buy the 24 to 105. Boop, focus. Come on. Oh, it sees my eyes. There it goes. Oh, eyeballs. I bought that so that I could run rapidly and quickly with the autofocus. And then I also have been slowly getting my wife on. Man, that is cold. Hold on. Let me turn that up. I gotta make an adjustment in here real quick. It's blowing up my skirt. It's cold. It's actually not that cold in here. I need to replace this air conditioner. But I can't replace this air conditioner until I get the one in the house fixed. Yay. My house AC sprung a leak, and they're trying to find parts for it. And yeah, nobody has parts right now. Did y'all know that they're changing the Freon that they use in the air conditioners again? So remember when they got rid of the R22 and R12 or whatever it was in the homes, and they're like, R410, it's great for the environment. Everyone will love it. It's wonderful, and you get to use it. And starting January next year, you can't buy one. That didn't last 10 years. Deal at any time. Always happy to help. Reach says, hey, King. No, I haven't. Wait. Oh, sorry, King. You were asking Reach. I did not pay attention to that, so yeah. Don't have anything lined up to review. I just filmed a review using the Sony A7 IV. I really like it. the A7S III is considerably better for a lot of video work, in my opinion. Let's debate on that, Reach. Let's debate on that. So there are definite pros to the A7S III. I like that. Pro number one, you get 4K 120. Okay, that's a good one. It's not cropped. Pro number two, you get the really high, or you get the really nice low light capability in that. Where the A7 IV is cool is it's sampling a 7K image for the 4K video. So technically you're getting a better image on the A7 IV because it has more color data to fill in. Because remember, we've got bare patterns on both of these. 7K of bare pattern will 100% fill up a 4K frame. What did I say? 7K? Yeah, 7K of bare will fill up a debared 4K image. 4K, here, I do like that focus, that's nice. 4K on the A7S III. And it is sampled from 4.7 or 5K, something like that. Will not fill a 4K debared. So there is more color in that. I find them to be remarkably close, like really close. And that's why I bought it. I'm selling my A7R III if anybody's interested. I'll be putting it up on eBay soon. I'm just moving. I figured this, I get the same codecs, the same bit depth, the same color science, and this is 7K. My A7R III was 8K, so my time lapses will be substandard for a while. I'll live. But I kind of dig it. Dearway says, I'm really interested in the Arri Mini 4K. Would love to get my hands on one at IBC this year. Yeah. You're talking about the unannounced one? It's not that. Reach, your skill level surpasses anything the Sony mirrorless can give you, though. That's not true. I wasn't saying that to be mean. I was saying that you can do some absolutely amazing stuff with Sony mirrorless. You really, really can. And people, I mean, give it credit. I mean, I don't buy garbage. Well, I have. Okay, I buy garbage. But I don't buy garbage anymore. And I bought the A7S III because it produces a beautiful image. I bought the A7 IV because it produces a beautiful image. It's really nice. Everything about Arri, dadgummit, this thing's falling apart. Everything about Arri, even their logo seems bland and boring. I don't know if that's true. I like Arri's image. I like it. It's nice. I don't think it's bland. It's not cutting edge in any way, and it honestly doesn't compete with the newer cameras out there. But we'll see what Arri does here shortly. We'll see. Luca, hello, Luca. How are you? Hi. Look at that. I like that. That's nice. Thanks, King. Much appreciated. Scott, my thoughts are the A7S III has downscaled video with 4K 120 with higher ISO. Yes. I thought the A7 IV was pixel bin. So the A7 IV will only shoot 4K 60. And 4K 60 is cropped to the, it's cropped in to the actual 4K part of the sensor. So when you're shooting 4K 60 here, or 4K 60 or 4K 120 here, well, let's do 4K 60. 4K 60 here and 4K 60 here will have the exact same amount of color information. 4K 120, this one can do, that one cannot do. But when you're doing 4K 30 and 4K 24, this one is able to use all 7K to produce the 4K image. So it will have more color information. A7S3 has, hey, you said A7S2. Hey, you're changing the rules here. Oh, then you corrected yourself. The A7S3 does not have a crop. That does make it, I mean, the A7S3 is a superior camera in almost all respects, except for the 7K downsampling that it's doing. Just saying, Rich, I can see you maybe toying with the FX9, but for sure the Venice. I don't like the FX9 myself. I would much rather have the FX6, which is the A7S3 in a pro-ish body, than the FX9 myself. That's just me. I know a lot of people with FX9s, and they do like them, but FX9 for the money is awful crippled. Right now I'm playing with the Canon R6 when it comes to full frame. I've been liking it so far. I was really toying with the R5C. And there was a lot of benefit to the R5C for me for numerous reasons, because it would be RF, the Komodo is RF, and then my V-Raptor, when I get around to that, will also be RF. So there was a benefit to that. There were some things, I'm trying to remember, that talked me out of it at the last minute, and I decided against it. And I went with the A7 IV and decided to stick with Sony. And I honestly don't remember. Yeah, interesting. Just did a shoot using it as my B cam to Komodo this week. Nice. Reach says, I'm with you, Scott. I'd much rather have the FX6 just because of the body. I mean, this is a great sensor. This is truly great. And honestly, if I wasn't a time-lapser, I probably would have just bought a second A7S3. But because I'm a time-lapser and I like the extra resolution, then the A7 IV was going to allow me to sell the A7R3, which allowed me to sell the whole idea to my wife. So that's why I did it. I think this is a gorgeous sensor, the A7S3. Even the fact that it's not, sampling the 7K to get the image, it's a gorgeous sensor. It has low light capability, and then when they stick that in the FX6, I mean, that's a heck of a machine. A really nice machine. Rich says, I had zero interest in the Canon mirrorless, especially the R6, until they added C-Log 3 and 10-bit. That's true. I don't like when companies cripple their products. How are you going to be able to store all the new aperture lights you're about to order? I know. I'm interested in the P600C Pro. No, it's not P600. It's the 600C Pro. That light, I think, is going to be pretty cool. I'm also interested in the MC pros. And we'll see about the tube lights. What I do like is pixel mapping. I'm a big fan of pixel mapping. And the new stuff is all being pixel mappable. And I like that. But to answer your question, how are you going to be able to store all of your new aperture lights? King, the best way I can tell you is you need to work on levels, vertical levels. So it's not just horizontal, you got to stack vertically. And I have a nice stack over here. It's really more about when I do these big shoots that, man, that air conditioner's good. Turn that up. When I do these big shoots that I use so many lights, it's the back-breaking work of loading them up and then hauling them. For instance, at the airport terminal, I had all my aperture lights and more, and camera gear, and Kessler sliders, all on my rock and roller cart. And that thing was loaded. Complete. Wow, is it just like nice, very nice. It was hard to push, and I had to go a long way with it. Benefit of firmware updates. I wish more cameras would get firmware updates, but all these manufacturers are like, we're just going to give you a couple, and then we're going to sell you a new camera. King says, I am waiting for my Z9. You know, Bill's got one. Bill in here, he just got his. I want to see how underrated it is. Bill is absolutely in love. Bill, are you still on here? Conscious Creative Media. He's got his, and he texts me at least once a day, letting me know how awesome it is. He and I have had some long conversations about it. He's a Nikon guy. It is a nice camera. I'm not switching back to Nikon. So it's kind of out for me. But I mean, bang for the buck, it's got a lot of features. A lot of features in there for sure. It's a few months away, just like my V-Raptor, which is always like 2 or 3 months away, sadly. But thank God for all this work. But thanks for my air conditioner failing, because there goes $3,000 that I wanted to spend on camera gear. King says the FX6 is nice form factor and has all the functional functions, but it has the A7S III, so that's a big no. Really? Why you disliking the A7S III? I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I mean, I need to boost the brightness, but I like that image right there, like that. Let me just stop that for a minute. Stop. And then we're going to cut to camera 2. We're going to take this off here. Go ahead. Demonetize me. That's literally what's about to happen. Just for that. Just for that. All right, so then, Reach says, did you pre-order a V-Raptor, Scott, or are you just waiting on the right time? I did not pre-order a V-Raptor. I cannot afford a V-Raptor yet. That's what I'm waiting on. I had it all lined up. Life got in the way. I am truly holding out. I have my Dragon X still, and I keep saying I'm going to sell it. I planned on selling it, but I honestly want to make sure that I sell it right before I get the V-Raptor, because otherwise I'll take that money and spend it on something else. I mean, I know myself, so I'm using it right now as my red bank to make sure that I invest back into red because I I want the V-Raptor bad, and I also really love the time lapse. Ooh, time lapse is coming for V-Raptor. The long shutter is coming for V-Raptor very soon. It's in testing right now. Not for Komodo yet. Komodo is a little further out. Golly, my nose is itching. Now you can see me actually with my nose. Let's see here. I love the V-Raptor, but for me, with the budgets I'm getting right now, is totally a rental. Again, for me in South Florida, yes, I completely understand you there. Ruben says, "Have you ever heard of Dullen's Apo Mini Primes?" I have not. The name doesn't ring a bell, but let me look it up because sometimes it is a visual. Like I remember a yeah. So these are aren't these? No, you don't need my support. I disabled my ad blocker. Cine D, please. There was a brand of lenses that was released or announced in like 2019, I think. Something Spirit, or they were purple, and something tells me that these are those. I cannot remember the name of those. Something Spirit. Am I getting that right? Which I did actually like. I looked at them. Spirit Lab. Yeah, so let me see. Spirit Lab. Let's see. No, they're a little different. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. They look similar. So I have not played with those. I have not seen them in person at all. Yeah, I totally feel that I'm the same way. I mean, the first rule is know thyself. I feel like that was in the Matrix. Wait to sell until the camera's coming, ish. Yeah. Wait to sell until I have the other 20,000, and then do it. Which, I mean, if the jobs keep piling up, which again I am 100% thankful for, then I might have V-Raptor end of summer, maybe. Maybe. Ugh, sorry about the nose. It always does that. I meant to shave my beard and my hair. My hair's getting long. It's got that long, and I can't do long hair. My hair is so thin that when it gets long, it just falls out. And I don't want my hair to fall out anymore. It can't handle the weight of it. So like I grew it out once really, and I was trying to get a little ponytail, and I had like a ponytail like that, but I swear the ponytail was like as big around as the pin. And I mean, it's not cool. It just doesn't look cool. No one's going, man, that guy's got a pretty ponytail. Ooh, I like that pencil ponytail. What else is going on in the world, folks? I've really been slacking on a lot of things. Like the storage videos, they are coming. I am absolutely putting those out. But I've been going so deep into the script. It's pages and pages and pages. Because I want people to have the knowledge as to why. And it is amazing to me how people are not interested in the why. They just want the recommendation. They want to know what should I buy, and then they go that way. Now, I don't do that. I don't tell people you need to buy this. I tell people that's what I like, but I tell you need to make your own decisions, because I'm not the one that has to live with the decision. You do. And it's I have no idea where I was going with that. Senior moment here. Where's I going with that? Yeah, I don't know where I was going with. Oh, yeah, the storage. Dang it. I was thinking cameras. I was reading over here, thinking it was something that I was speaking off of by the conversation. No, storage. So I want to educate. I want people to have the information so that they can make the best decision for them, and then they can feel good about it. And then I'll do a summary video that hopefully is faster. But I've been on a kick lately where people ask questions in like Facebook groups, and they're asking a question that I've literally done an entire video on. And so I say, hey, I just did this video on this. You should watch it and learn. And I'll post the video, and I get people saying, and it was the other day, and I'm not griping about it, but they're like, hey man, I ain't got 11 minutes to sit through that. Just tell me which one it is. No, I'm not going to do that. And so if you ask me a question on Facebook or Twitter or any of the others, and you ask me point blank, which one should I buy? Well, I'm not going to answer it that way. And if you tell me, yeah, that's fine and good, tell me which one, tell me what the answer is. I'm not going to. You won't get a response from me. And I'm not doing it to be a jerk. I'm doing it because that's what my standard is. My standard is, I am not you. I don't have to live with your decision. You need to live with your decision, and you need to be at peace with the world with it. So if you're buying a V-Raptor, or if you're buying Dolan's lenses, or you're buying Spirit Lab or anything else, I want you to have sorry. I want you to have come to the conclusion yourself and said, I think this is the best purchase for me. Not Scott said buy this, Joe said this, Reach says this, that kind of stuff. I don't want to participate in that. It's just not who I am, because I think all of you are better than that. So, yeah, if you ever see that, that's why. Right, but we love your advice. Well, I mean, I'm more than happy to give it. Really am. And I will lead you. I will lead you down a path and help you narrow your decision down to a couple of things. I'm not making the decision for you. I'm just helping you narrow it down. And then I'll give you my perspective on it. But I'm not going to tell you, you got to buy it. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that. I really do. It's that kind of, it's the little thank yous that actually will make me put out these other videos that I've been dragging my feet on, because I always feel like I've built these two Windows machines that I've talked about for 3 months, 4 months now. And I built them out. I've shot the videos. What I haven't done is put together the final, the talking head portion of the video with summaries. And the main reason is Every single person is completely different in how they use computers. And I'm trying to find, doing a benchmark, okay? If I do a benchmark, is it worth my time if 700 other people have already done that benchmark? Is it worth my time to do that, present it, when it may not help because it's already been done? I'm trying to find things that really matter in the grand scheme of things. Because what I built the new 12700K Intel with a RTX 3080 card in it. And I built over there the AMD 5700X, I think it is, or no, G, 5700G with the internal graphics. Also, the 12700K has the internal graphics. So I was trying to compare what is it like with and without an RTX, that kind of stuff. And what I found was, I don't think a lot of people will benefit from like an NVIDIA card. I think the internal graphics is pretty good, not for Reds and not for high-end cameras, but for people who are using mirrorless, I don't think they're going to benefit a whole lot from an RTX unless they're doing graphics work and that kind of stuff. Thank you, Tommy. I love you, buddy. Here's some motivation money to put out video. Tommy loves to kick me in the butt. And this was a kick me in the butt with $4.99. And he's been a friend for years, and he's been a long-standing channel member. And can I say it, Tommy? You wanna drop the link in? You drop the link in. I'm not going to tell you your business. You just tell me what you want me to say. But Tommy branching out. Tommy doing a lot of stuff. He's doing it. Ruben says, "Oh yes, workstations, yes, but also the storage." So I've been really sad. I had a deal worked out with Synology where they were going to send me a loaner array so that I could show it the latest one in the comparisons of all the different technologies. And then they ghosted me. I mean, I get it. I'm just some schlub on the internet. They probably been screwed over with people that are like, hey, yeah, can you send me a loaner and I'll give it back, wink, wink. I always return gear when it's asked for, always. I mean, if they want me to keep it, I have no qualms with that. I'm fine with that. I'm not going to give them a better review if I get to keep it. That's not how I work. But I really wanted to show off the newer Synologies because I have two Synology large expanded arrays back here, but they're very old. So the speed that I can get out of them is not related to the speed you can get out of the new ones. For instance, I have each of my arrays has 15 drives in it. So it's the main 5-bay with two 5-bay expansion units on them. I have two of those. And they only have dual gigabit to 1 gigabit Ethernet on there. So the most amount of data I can get out of there is 250 megabytes a second transfer speed out of there. That's the most. That's not a lot. That's not comparable for 15 drives. That's comparable for 2 drives, or 3 in a RAID 5. I get, with my TrueNAS, I mean, I'm getting 800 megabytes a second out of that. It's really fast. With my Eureka, I get 900 to 950 megabytes a second out of that. With my internal Eureka, I get 950 megabytes a second out of that. I can actually get more because that other one I could put 16 drives in. With Unraid, so I have completely figured out Unraid, and I have a huge Unraid server over there. Basically, every drive that doesn't match, it goes in the Unraid, and that Unraid server can support 30 drives, and I'm almost there. But Unraid is Unraid. It's unlike RAID, and it's not for performance. It's where I stick everything that I want to keep because it's not fast. And I have figured everything else, everything about it. It's funny too, because like people that have been running Unraid for like 4 years are now asking me questions about it because I've figured out how to maximize the abilities and all that in there. But the most amount of data that I can get out of it is about 300 megabytes a second. It is possible if you're not going to use the Unraid and you're going to use like a ZFS volume, that you can get much, much faster. But what's the point of Unraid if you're going to use ZFS? Anything can use ZFS. So like on my Unraid server, I don't have 10 gigabit in there. I have 2.5 gigabit because that's really all I'm ever going to see out of it. And I have a RAID 0 of SSD cache drives in there. So I load to that, and then it offloads it off to the Unraid, because going directly to the Unraid server, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's you'll get, copying to the Unraid, you're going to get between 30 and 60 megabytes a second is all you're going to get. I don't care what drives you have in there. My main drives, my parity drives that are in Unraid are 14 terabyte drives. So I've got lots of ability. And for those of you who don't know what Unraid is, what Unraid does, and I can't quite explain the math on it. I've gone down the rabbit hole a couple of times. I got close, but then squirrel, and I've since not figured it. What it's doing is it uses a parity drive that is a large drive, and then you can put any size drive you want behind it as long as it is equal to or less than your parity drive. And then it will write to these drives, copying parity data to various places. I have dual parity drives for double the protection of my parity, which is good practice. That actually slows it down when it writes, because it's doing some calculations. So what you gain with Unraid is the ability to not have to match drive sizes, which you can do to a point with the new Synology hybrid RAID. But also with Unraid, if the Unraid server crashes and you've obliterated your configuration, there's no way you're getting it back. You can take each and every drive out of it, hook it up to a machine, and pull the data that's on that drive off. So it's kind of amazing. So that's the beauty of it as a nearline storage solution, as I call it. Oh, wow, nice. Tommy says, if you do this 4 to 6 week trip, are you going to do Friday live streams from the road, provided you have service? Yes, I will. I did try to do that on my last big trip. Not this one recently, but in 2018. I did try to do that just to keep it flowing, keep it happy. So yes, I will. And yeah, I will make plans to make that happen because I care. Gerald, hello, sir. How are you? I haven't seen a video from Gerald either. I bet you're busy. I haven't seen a video for a few weeks from you. You're slacking like me. It's I'm guessing really in our world it's really just work is picking up. We're past tax season, so everybody's like, finally, I have some money, so let's get the project going. And yeah, that's what's happening. And fireside chats. And if a bear sneaks up behind you, we can warn you. I like fireside chats. I have not been lately in places where you can have a fire. It's crazy with all the restrictions everywhere and the droughts. And I'm guessing if I'm going up to the west, there won't be any fires there either because they're in a massive drought right now. They're probably never going to allow fires again. I'm going to get me some refill on my beverage. I'm going to go into this extraordinarily loud ice machine. The funny story with the ice machine. Maybe I'll tell it, maybe if anybody cares. It's an ice machine. What kind of a funny story could it be? The funny part is how loud it is. It is literally, why the hell did I put this in here? Kind of thing. Okay, so I do like fireside chats. Also, I did get a GoPro 10, and I like it. I did not like GoPros for quite a while now. My last one was a 7, and I wasn't upgrading. I didn't like them. The GoPro 10, I like it. I like it more than the DJI. So maybe I'll do a little review on that. Might be fun. GoPro. Gerald says, yup, crazy busy. However, heading out to Corolla Beach in North Carolina this week and planning on shooting a bunch. Nice. Very cool. You got to bring your cat because your cat needs to get involved with the shoots. Your cat is always involved with the shoots. My animals won't participate at all. I mean, you saw Rex, he just left. AirPods story. Yeah, so I mentioned that at the beginning. I have my AirPods Pro, and I love those because you just pop those puppies in. I learned that from Mark Toya. Pop those in when you're shooting B-roll and just zone out. Put some cool music on. I've got a great film score. Does anybody have Spotify? Let me know if you have Spotify. I'll make my film scores public, and maybe we'll let people collaborate in it. Yeah, we can do that. But I plug in some film scores, and I'm just going to town. So AirPods, my left one, I put it in, and it immediately, you get that feedback coming back, which is hilarious because no one at Apple understands what feedback is. We all do. But when I try to explain it, they're like, what? But, so I bought these AirPod Pros back in 2020, the very beginning. And these are the original ones. And there is a manufacturing defect in them. And because of that, they have an extended warranty that they basically gave you. So I sent them in, which is a really nice process, by the way. They overnight you a tiny box. You put the package in there, you do all the stuff, and you overnight it back. And then they fix it, and then they overnight it back to you. It's a very nice process. So they sent the box, I sent it off, They turned it around. I was out of town when it came back, but got them back. I was like, cool. Pop them in, and the left ear sounds great now. The right ear is like 30% volume of the left ear. And no matter what I do, nothing. I tried different computers. I swapped the ears, and of course it followed. And I even had my daughter say, yeah, Dad, I'm not going to say you're not crazy, but the right ear is definitely quieter. So I called Apple again, and they sent out a box. They're like, oh, gosh, sorry about that. Yeah, they sent out the box. I shipped them off, and overnight again, and then they arrived back while I was out of town. Get them, put them back in my ear, exactly the same. Left ear works great. Right ear, no. It's not even there. I mean, did they even try? I suspect that they put the right one in their ear and they go, yep, it's making noise. Not even listening to the complaint by the customer. Left one. So if you set the audio to 25%, the balance to 25% right, so between middle and right, it's 25%, then it balances the left ear out. That's how bad it is. So I've shipped them off again, and Apple just received my product again. We'll see if they do it this time. She asked me, she's like, well, what do you want us to do? I was like, honestly, I said, I'm not asking for anything special. I just want you to fix the problem. I mean, just fix the right ear. Literally listen to the customer complaint, balance them out, whatever they can do, because I can't do it. There's no setting for us. I fix it. Cool. I give Apple credit for the repair process, but I'm not going to give them credit for repairing it because they haven't yet. Bernese Mountain Dog on the beach. Nice. Ruben says, I have to get Spotify now. Get it. It's cool. I like it. I like it a lot. I have now learned. So I have a beef with the way Spotify functions, though. They when you randomize a playlist, it will repeat songs over and over again. I mean, it was one night. It was kind of funny. I have like 300 pop punk rock bands, 300 songs in a playlist that I like to randomize. Wife and I were sitting in the hot tub, and we were playing that, and literally the same song played 3 times while we were in the hot tub. Now, I liked the song. It was great. But I only have it in the playlist once. So there's some kind of, I don't know what it is with Spotify. I mean, put on my tinfoil hat, I would say that the songs that they're playing are cheaper for them to play over and over again. I don't know. I just find it annoying. So I figured out how to fix that. Because I like random, and man, this I don't like this cigar. What you do, you got to play it in order. You got to turn off shuffle and play it in order. Now, when you do that, you're always going to have like an entire album, because when you play it, put them in there, you might add the entire soundtrack from Interstellar or something like that. So then you have to listen to them in a row, and I don't want to do that. I want to bounce around. So go to your desktop computer, not an iPad, not an iPhone, a Mac or Windows with the Spotify app. Go to your playlist, select all, which you can actually do, just Control A, and then Control C or Apple C, and you can paste it into Notepad. Or you can go out to a free randomizer on the interwebs. There's several that you can randomize. So I just paste the list into the randomizer. I hit randomize 3 times and then take the list back out, create a new playlist called random, and then I play that one in order. It's awesome. Now, now they can't do it. so, so I have literally voided their randomizer with random, and I just need to remember where I was. So I have a little notepad. So like when I'm listening, like when I'm editing without audio, or I'm like right now, I've been tearing through those 2 terabytes of B-roll cuts. I I don't have my AirPods, but I just listen to film scores in the background, completely random, and then I just I jot down where I stop. I'm at 274 right now, so what else is going on? What else is everybody up to? There's a few people out there, and I'm enjoying the conversation. Wife will be home soon. I will. I'll probably cut this off about 6ish because wife will be home. It is nice weather outside. Mosquitoes are out, so maybe we won't be outside. But it's definitely going to be time for an adult beverage or two. And then I think we're going to watch Ozark because today Ozark. Look at that! I just dribbled on myself. I'm hungry, and yeah, it'll be a nice, just relaxing evening. Maybe we go to Home Depot. I don't know. I don't know if we'll have enough time. It's a great movie, old school. Will Ferrell. And then I plan on this weekend. I plan on dedicating an entire day. We'll see to writing some music because I've got this other music video in mind, and I've got to write it out. It's a different style, completely different style, but it's a style I dig. It's a good style, and the style is they're all over the map. So I've got to lock it down and just kind of write something out. But it'll be a lot of fun. And then I'll shoot a music video. And I believe Senior Tommy Chase is going to be the DP on it. Because that worked out. That was pretty good last time. It's really hard to do it all yourself. With the Kessler Roll music video, it was tough. And then Tommy came over for the day, and we knocked out a bunch of stuff. And it's always good to have other people's visuals in mind and try different things. But yeah, it'll be fun. It's already got a style in mind, and I've already sent him the inspirational music videos that are out there. So he kind of knows where we're going with it, and it has a very distinctive look. And then we've just got to figure out how to pull it off with just me, because there's multiple people. Well, it'll be a music video with Creepy and the other Scots, which one day you'll get to see what I shot in Utah very poorly. I blocked myself into a corner. If you're going to do a shoot with multiple U's, whereby you set the camera up and then you go out there and you film yourself in different positions and you rush for time, do yourself a favor. Don't wear the same color clothes as the background and what you're standing on. I boxed myself into a corner, and now I'm literally going to have to roto out me in every single one, and it sucks. I didn't want to roto. I honestly wanted to use the amazing new AI technology in Blackmagic's Resolve 18, but you need color contrast. You need some kind of contrast between you and the background for it to be able to pull out the details. I didn't think about that. I didn't know the color of the road was the same color as my jacket and everything else. So yeah, I'm paying the price for that. And it's such a silly little video that I was shooting for it. It'll come out. You'll see it, and you'll laugh and you'll go, "Why? You did all that for that?" And I'll say, oh, I did a lot more for that too. Well, everyone's so talkative tonight. Come on, start talking. Do something. Talk, ask questions. Tell me what you're up to. Ruben, what are you up to? Roto. Yes, Roto bad. Roto very bad. I want to collab. I want to get out and collab some. I want to get this trip nailed down uh, with a sponsor or two, and then once I get the money basically paid for gas, then I want to line up a bunch of people along the way and go shoot some fun stuff along the way, because I think that's a lot of fun, just collabing with people. And I would love to collab with people out here, and just none of our schedules ever work out. Um, I am I gotta ugh, I've got a really cool studio with a volumetric stage in Austin that we've been trying to shoot together, so everyone can see what their studio can do. I mean, we're talking the LED walls. I mean, it's slick, and we want to do a live stream from it, but it's tough scheduling. It is tough. Ruben, going to East Texas this weekend, but I'm based in Houston. I grew up in Katy. I met my wife in Katy. My daughters were born in Katy. I've grown up many years in Katy. I was in Katy when Katy was just a rice farming area. They literally did have the rice farms back then too. It was funny. That was a lot of fun. I used to ride my bicycle as a kid in the rice farms. Oh, I see how it is. I ask people what they're doing, and they all jump off the live stream. Totally fine. What else you working on, Ruben? You doing anything cool? You shooting anything? You oh, really? Okay, Ruben. Okay, I see your comment there. I had to wait for it to show up here. Oh, wow. Really? I grew up in Katy. Yes, rice fields. Well, okay, Ruben. Where in Katy? I I don't know how old you are. So yeah, I don't know how old you are. So I don't know how our timelines align. Um, the I I was a wee lad back in the late '70s. Yeah, a long time ago, wee lad, and we lived off of Mason Road in Katy, in Memorial Parkway. I went to Memorial Parkway Elementary School, um, and it was when Memorial Parkway was brand spanking new. It was the first master plan subdivision in the United States. And it was so big, so huge, it was in National Geographic. And it was kind of funny because Ruben, you might know Katy really well if you know where Memorial Parkway is. Um, the My backyard was nothing. It was all those fields, or we had our backyard and then the fence. Then there was nothing. Now it's full of Nottingham expansion 2738, whatever. But it's kind of funny because my neighbor had one of those ultralight airplanes, so he would knock down his fence and take his ultralight out and fly it around. It was kind of cool. Um, oh, okay. He grew up in Cy-Fair School District. Gotcha. Okay. I I moved to Katy proper, and I actually lived in the first house Cynthia and I bought was in the Katy subdivision, which was malformed and never happened. was in downtown Katy, and the only way you know it's the Katy subdivision is there is a T Street and a Y Street, and then the A and the K streets never got formed. And I lived on T Street. Yeah, that was me. And then we moved way out here to Austin because yeah, Austin. It's funny. My wife is she's driving home right now. She's probably listening. She's probably laughing. Yeah, downtown Katy. I went to Katy High School. Katy is old. Yes, Katy is very old. Is very very old. When I was living in Memorial Parkway, we would go to Katy. There was nothing in Katy. Katy had a Sonic. That was the only thing that's been there forever. That Katy Sonic, and like we'd go to soccer or t-ball, I think it was back then. We'd just go to Sonic. That was the only thing you could go to. Well, we call it old, or they call it Old Katy. Well, we called it Katy proper because everybody calls Katy, like the area, Katy, but Katy is a city limits, and we called it Katy proper because like Katy High School, which we had one of the best football teams in high school. We had people from all over, all the subdivisions, all over the Katy area going there. So you had to differentiate yourself. Well, we're Katy proper. Yeah, that's not a good cigar. Katy proper, never knew that. Yep, that's the thing. Now Katy High School now is hilariously large. Went back there for, I don't know, it was a 20-year reunion. Did the walking tour, and like literally, like we had a big school. I mean, my graduating class was like 450. It's not big by today's standards, but it was pretty big back then. And we would have to walk across the street to the band hall, and then we parked next to the band hall, and all of that now, the whole road, the parking lot is all school. It's huge. It's wild what all of it's become. And now Katy School District is so big, they only play each other. I mean, it's hilarious. Also, Katy is also on the map now for the most expensive high school stadium on the planet. $70 million high school football stadium. And it's right next to the former really, really large stadium. Yeah. About to say that football. Yeah. Y'all will always win. I know. And it was when I started high school that we started winning. It was hilarious. And they've been great ever since. And I don't know what it was. I think it was me. It was probably me. I didn't play football, but it was a lot of fun because I was a band nerd. Of course, I played percussion, so I wasn't that much of a nerd. And it was a lot of fun to be on a winning team to play. Wow, Ruben's from Lufkin. I know where Lufkin is. Nice. I moved there around year 2000. Everything was new in Cyprus. Yep. Yeah, yeah, we're just having chats now, fireside chats. There's people watching. They're probably just like, interesting. When I moved from Katy, we moved from Katy. The Katy Mills came in, and then the Walmart came in, and a Walmart distribution center. Or no, it was just Walmart at Katy Mills. And at that point, we were like, we should go further out, because it's getting a little too crowded. We liked the small separation town life kind of thing. So we moved out to Sealy, and we had property out in Sealy. It was really nice. down behind Stewart and Stevenson out there, which is not Stewart and Stevenson. I don't know what it is anymore, where they made the military vehicles. And it was great. We enjoyed it there. And then Walmart came in and built a distribution center. I'm like, really? We're just being followed by Walmarts? So when we moved out here, we literally looked for a place that was as far away from a town as you could get without getting closer to another town. And we're pretty isolated. It's bad for internet, but it's pretty nice for elbow room. But now Tesla, Samsung is building one of the largest fabs in the country, right 15 minutes from here. Tesla's 30 minutes from here. Everybody came in, and oh my God, his property values going through the roof. And I just got the Fujifilm GFX 50R, so I'm nice. I like that camera. I really like that camera. And I've really been wondering why they stopped pushing the sensor envelope. Because we have basically the 100, and then they just stopped. I find that weird. They were on a roll. The Fuji is gorgeous. Medium format. Oh, it's beautiful. Very expensive. It was very tough for me to not want that, because it made it easier because it was 10 grand when it came out. Yeah, that's a nice camera. Reach says, by the way, we got our converted Sprinter back in shape. Nice. I'm thinking about taking a road trip and filming along the way. Any tips? Oh yeah, tons of tips. Oh man, we need to talk about your Sprinter van. I haven't talked about it. Talked about yours. Where are you planning on going? Because what I'd tell you is, national parks are fantastic, especially now that you can film commercially in it. It really makes it nice. So all of the absolutely most stunning, beautiful places are national parks or national monuments now, that kind of stuff. The pretty nice, really nice stuff that's not the must is all around it. And if you go west of Texas, anywhere west of Texas, you draw north, south from Texas all the way up, anything west, you get BLM land, you get national forests, you get national wilderness, you get national monuments, you get all that. Go there. Be self-contained. Don't go to campgrounds. Don't go to any place like that. Do the best way you can do for traveling around in a van, especially if you're doing filming, is don't concern yourself with where you're going to sleep, unless you literally want to go someplace, a specific location, and film in that area. That makes it easy. But film all day long. Just everywhere you see something you want to film it. And I'm really bad at this, so we tried it this last time. It didn't cooperate because of the weather. But all day long, film, and then pull up apps. There's several apps. iOverlander is a good one. There's freecampsites.net. There's RV Parky. There's all kinds of places, apps that will tell you. You tell it where you are, and it says you can go here. You can park. You can go here. You can camp. You go here. If you're west of Texas, then it's super, super easy, and you get kind of all to yourself. But there's no shame in parking in a Walmart parking lot if it's legal. Some cities really ban that. But yeah, go get your night's sleep there, and then go out west. I would tell you. You're used to the heat from Florida, but there's some like in. Where did I go? So when I was with Bill in South Carolina, North Carolina, I went south from there, down past the Smoky Mountains, there's some like national forest area down there, and I found the most awesome campsite along a creek. Got some amazing footage of creeks, and just camp. That's the best thing is find those national forests. Yeah, it's cool. Ruben, thanks for hanging out. Fuji is king. It is. Austin is gorgeous. It's pretty gorgeous. Pretty gorgeous. Yeah, thanks for stopping by and having a great conversation. I know, well, let's see. She's almost home. Oh, I wonder if maybe she grabbed pizza. I like pizza. I'm going to ask her. She's going to be mad. She's going to be like, no. And then she's going to go, you want me to go to get pizza? I mean, she's listening right now, literally. She's just hearing that. We'll see. I should have just said on the live stream, I want pizza. Seems like West of Texas it is, because you want to get away from the heat, because that's a real it's a buzzkill, especially as it's getting warmer. I mean, like the southern states, no. Flagstaff is absolutely gorgeous in Arizona. It's 7,000 feet of elevation. It's nice. Also, I mean, travel to the big national parks in Rocky Mountain National Park is absolutely stunning. And there's some places around there. It's a drive. We off-roaded it pretty good. Just take it slow. I mean, we parked in some cool places up in the mountains that you can camp. And it was nice. And then you get right into the park. Also, if you're going to a national park that has timed entry, the secret, get up before they open and drive into the park. You do not have to follow timed entry rules if you're in the park before they start the timed entry. Rocky Mountain National Park, you have to buy a ticket ahead of time to get in there. Same thing with Glacier, unless you get in there first. So that's what we did at Rocky Mountain. We camped up in this little mountain just outside the park. It was maybe 12 minutes from the entry, and we tried to get timed entry tickets, couldn't get in. So we camped there, just slept there overnight, pulled in at dark, and we got up at 4 a.m. and drove in, and then drove to the parking lot where we were going to hike, and just went back to sleep until 7. Because you can't sleep in the parking lot. They won't let you. But you can arrive at 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's what time all the mountain climbers and all the people that are bouldering and all that, they're there. I mean, the parking lot, before the sun came up, the parking lot was half full. So it was definitely cool. Reach says, was definitely thinking of going to at least California and back, then whatever I can along the way there. But I would, California is great. Yosemite is unreal. If you're going to go to Yosemite, make sure you go before August, because the snow melt, it stops. The big waterfalls stop somewhere in July and August. So it's a thing. In Yosemite, there are very few campsites outside the park, because it's pretty in the mountains. So it's going to be harder to do that, what I said, but you can arrive, get in the park early before dawn, and go back to the I forget the name, the Southern Pines, Northern Pines, whatever it is. There's a huge campground in Yosemite. Park in the parking lot, and then somewhere around 6 a.m. or so, go to the campground check-in. They have a standby, and they also have some first come first serve campsites, and you stand in line. And if you're there at 6 a.m., you're probably going to get a campsite, which is great, because then you got a place to be, and now you can go adventure. Yosemite, oh man, I could spend a week there if the waterfalls are going, because I love creeks. I love me some waterfalls. And yeah, I went there with my other buddy Bill on a week trip, and there were no waterfalls, and I got so bummed. It was such a like a buzzkill that I was like, let's just go. Let's go someplace else. Big Sur is absolutely gorgeous. Going up and down the coast on Highway 1, absolutely amazing. And then Northern California, Redwood Forests, where Star Wars, the Empire or Return of the Jedi was filmed, absolutely, absolutely incredible. And there's lots of camping up there. King says, what lenses are you getting for your Raptor? I will be getting Sigma primes for my Raptor at first. And then once those have paid for themselves, I will go for the Tachina Vista primes. I love the Tachina Vista primes, but the Sigmas are a little cheaper. And the Sigmas are like, they're a great building block because they're so super sharp. The Tachinas are extremely sharp too, but the Tachinas have a character and they have a flavor. It's a really good flavor, but it doesn't work for everything. Sigmas are boring, super tack sharp, boring, but you can put filtration on there and turn them into flavor. So I'm going to go with the Sigmas first, and I'll probably end up with a set of like 5 or 6 of those. And then go to the Tachinas. My flavors will be like the 40, 65, probably the 105, the 25, and maybe the 18. Have you messed with the Sigma 24-70 Art? Just picked up the EF1 to use with the speed booster. I have played with it. I don't like it. And I don't like it for a reason that, I don't like it for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's no better than the, it's no better than the 24-70 Canon, which is a great lens, but it's incredibly boring. The other thing that I don't like about it is that they reversed the focus and the zoom. I don't like that. I like my focus on the outside and my zoom on the inside. And they reversed that, and I don't like that. I thought you'd upgrade to the Supreme Primes after the Sigmas. No, I don't get a sense of a high demand for the Supremes. They're very nice. They're very pretty. But I'm not seeing those rented out there that much. And when I get Raptor and the Sigmas, I'm going to rent those out because I'm going to have to make that money back somehow. So, yeah. And gotcha, those features are definitely annoying. So, all wide telephoto lenses that are a zoom, when you convert from wide to telephoto, you have to put so many elements in there that you kind of knock down the sharpness. You kind of knock down the awesomeness of the lenses. Like the 70-200 from Canon is by far one of the best lenses on the planet. It's so incredibly sharp, and it's great. The 24-70, same glass, same line, boring. The 16-35 is a lot better than the 24-70. I just, I didn't, she did not respond to me. Oh, she's home. So, well, I guess she didn't get pizza because she didn't come running in here with pizza. Oh well, she's listening and she's like, dang, I should have got pizza. I know it. But so yeah, let's wrap this puppy up. Anybody else got any last things they would like to chat about real quick or anything? I'll give you a minute or two to type in whatever you'd like, or whatever. There's some new people who've joined. If you have a quick question, feel free to pop it in there. I will answer the question. I always give everybody the last chance to chat. Reach says, thanks for the chat, Scott. Thanks for the chat, Reach. And I'd love to talk about your Sprinter van. I want to hear about what you've done, what you did with it. Nice stream, Scott. Coming live next week. I can't live next week. I will be in Dallas. So sorry. I want to, but I like to work. What do you think about the Godox TL60 tubes? I've not played with them. Basically, my take on Godox is you take an aperture and you strip off the bells and whistles and you reduce it to its base form, while providing as much of the output that you can, and that's what you're getting. And I'm cool with that. I think they're probably fine. But yeah. I don't have them. I have not played with them. So I don't have a real sense of them. But Godox in general is that way. The same thing with Nanlite. Nanlite tubes I think are a little better than the Godox. Large format full frame cinema camera sensors. Yeah. V-Raptor's got an amazing sensor. Monstro, an amazing sensor. You could do coffee with Scott, stream from your phone. I can't because I'm working for someone else. That would be very bad to do. It's like, hey, you're paying me to work, but I'm live streaming. Plus, I'll be at an exceptionally noisy place that there's absolutely no. In fact, I can't live stream specifically because of where I'll be. I can't. So that's for security reasons. Just thought about that. David says, I'd pay added dollars for Aperture products over anyone else in the market of similar products. Great team behind it, customer service, and everything keeps improving year after year. You are 100% correct, David. The big thing that I would say, I mean, all of that is true, and I definitely sing the praises of Aperture. But the one thing that I would say over Nanlite, over Godox, over everything else is Sidus Link. Sidus Link and what Aperture has done with it and what they're doing with it now, where they're going to operate DMX lights, it's killer. It's insane. Plus the Bluetooth mesh network works like a champ. Those things are worth the money for Aperture. He's right. Yeah. Airy Mini LF. It's okay. I only think they came out with that because they wanted a Netflix camera. That's it. I don't think it's anything spectacular. You didn't get pizza, did you? Why didn't you text me back? Oh, just now? Oh, I'll take those. Did you thaw them out? Did you thaw out a double? Okay, I guess I'm having one. Yep. You could call it marketing. Yeah. Weldon and hello, Weldon. It's so good to see you, buddy. Sidus Link for sure, and the new Sidus DMX version will make a large impact. I pushed hard for that with them, and their dongles are making the rapid. Yeah. I mean, Sidus Link. I'm fairly certain they knew what they were doing when they built it out. That it was going to go here eventually. And what they're doing with it is absolutely the best thing they could do with it. Because, if you build a product in an ecosystem, and your product is great, your ecosystem's great, and then you start using other lights in that ecosystem, everybody's going to eventually end up on your products because they're going to be built with Sidus Link in mind. So yeah, I do loves it. I do loves the Sidus Link. Everything in the studio is on Sidus Link. It's everything. And yes, David, yes, good to see you. I will drop by, David, when I do my trip. I was, you may not have been listening, but I am going to do another like 6 week adventure, and I'll be coming through California, and I will stop, and we will do something, lunch, dinner, drinks, whatever. But we'll probably have to have it in my van so no one breaks into it. LA's been really wild with all the break-ins lately. Okay, well, we are going to wrap this one up. Wife did not get pizza. She did not text me. Oh, she just yeah, okay, yeah, she texted me. She's making cheeseburgers, which I like my cheeseburgers. I'm okay with that. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining. It's good to be back. I'm glad to be back. I will not get to live stream next Friday, but I will try to have something out. Something. We'll see what I can get out. But yeah, I'll be working Friday, but we will be back on the live streams soon. Yeah, give me a call. We'll do. Enjoy the trip. And I'll also be there for City Gear too. Weldon, I'm not going to miss City Gear. I had to miss NAB. What? Wow. Okay. Well, Siri is telling me to get off my butt. It said I found all this information on sitting too long. I didn't ask Siri for that. But okay, so thanks everyone for joining. We'll see you soon. And yeah, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. Great stream. And bye.